Hello, and welcome back to Create Astral, where last episode we got ourselves set up a deep slate farm to get all of the materials you see here. This thing is running so much smoother than the last one we tried to build. There is definitely a drawback though at the speed of these crushing wheels we have back there, as we're not getting a constant flow of items and we're only coming in every now and then. If we sped those up though, we would definitely have to add another deep slate generator because we are going down on this, which isn't a bad thing though. We definitely would rather be short on deep slate than overflowing. So we may look at speeding this up later today and adding another deep slate generator. Today though, we're going to start our next project, which is going to be making an infinite lava pool. If you didn't know, the way that hose pulleys work is if you pull from a lava source that is bigger than, I think it's 10,000 blocks, then it will consider that source to be infinite. The same of course applies to water. Now, to get all of the lava we need, we're going to be using a setup like this, where we have deep slate dripping lava into cauldrons. We are definitely going to need a lot more than 40 buckets of lava though. Now, to set up a pool that's big enough for this, we're going to need about, I think it's 22 by 22 by 22 blocks of room here, and that makes up about 10,000 blocks. Although I do want this to be an odd number here, so I think I may go with 21 by 21 instead. Oh, hello. Here we go. Now this is about the area that we're working with. We've got 21 by 21, and then we'll have to go 23 blocks deep for this. Now, am I going to hand dig all this out manually? Absolutely not. Which is why I've crafted up a whole bunch of mechanical drills here, and we're just going to throw these down and let them do the work for us. Now with all our drills in place, we should just be able to stick a rope pulley on this and throw down a hand crank and start turning this. And there we go, we get some movement there. I want to throw a chest on this too, just so we don't get drops everywhere. Just like that there, make sure we glue this on. There we go. Now if we hand crank this, this is definitely a lot less work than mining because I can just sit here and hold right click. I don't even have to be at my computer. And then once that's done, we can just pull it right the way back up here. Then we just need to take this all apart and move it over a couple blocks and do that all again. And we've got this whole area dug out now. We've got a 21 by 21 by 23 big box here. Now to fill this up, we're going to be using a hose pulley here. I'm going to start this one layer below our little walkway we have here. Then we'll just need to connect some fluid pipes up to this. And then back here is where I've got all of our cauldrons. We're just going to hook all of these up with more pipes. Then we just need to place our pointed dripstone right above these cauldron. And then on the block above these dripstones, we'll need to place some lava. And I believe that the lava doesn't actually have to be a source block for this to work. So you can just have one source block up here and then have it go all the way down. Let's see, these first four are working and these last three are not. So we may need another one here. There we go, and it looks like they're all working now. And we can hook up as many cauldrons as we like to this thing. Now with all those set up, we'll need to attach a mechanical pump somewhere along this pipeline here. Then we'll need to get some power to this, so I'm just going to use a couple of water wheels here, just make it easy. And then we should start to see some lava coming out and into this big hole once these start flowing. Once we get some lava in one of these cauldrons, we're going to see this pipe start to fill up with lava, and then we should see it spit out into the world here. Of course, this is going to be very, very slow as it is now with only these amount of cauldrons. So we're just going to work on adding a whole bunch more until we can get a pretty good flow here. So I added a whole bunch more cauldrons here, and so far we've basically gotten, well, nowhere. I had a whole bunch of time to do some decorating in here though. Yeah, at this rate, we're going to be here for the next, like, week, so I think we need to find another way to get some lava in this. Here on the moon, we can find lots of large lava pools, so I think if we set up a assembly cart here, we can get a fluid tank full of lava and then transport it back to the base. All I've done here is attach a large fluid tank to a little cart assembler here, and if we flick on this lever, we'll see that it becomes an entity. And then if we start pulling in some lava, we can rotate this around. We can just sit here with our hand crank, and we should see it go into the tank. Nope. Oh, that's right. We don't want it to be an entity until we want to transport the lava. So while we're putting lava into it, we can just have it as a solid block. And we can already see this is filling up pretty quick here. So we should get to the max fill limit pretty soon. Once this is filled up, we can flick on our lever here, and if we right click the minecart, we're going to get the full contraption here. So this is the entire tank and the lava all together. So we can just take this home and pop it down and start filling up our big tank there. Back at our base, we should be able to place down our minecart contraption here and just attach it to our pipe system. And then we should see it all start to come out here and into our big hole. This may take a while, but I believe it's definitely working. We can see a lava block appear down there every now and then. While we're waiting on this to fill up, we can set up the other project I had in mind today. And that's going to be setting up one of these steam engines, which is going to be super cheap to make now that we have all this extra copper. All we're going to need for this is 9 of these steam engines. We'll also need to pick up 9 of these blaze burners here. Then on the moon, we'll need to find one of these blaze spawners and steal a bunch of these guys. Then we'll also need a spout and a depot. Then I believe the last thing we'll need for this is one of these mechanical arms. We can start this off by placing down our blaze burners in a little 3x3 grid here. I'm actually going to move these one back. Then we'll need to put down a tank, also in a 3x3 area here. We'll want to build this up as high as we can go. I think I've got it 5 tall here. Then on the top is where we're going to attach our steam engines. We'll also need to put shafts above these. Make sure they're going the right way here. Yep, so I've got all 3 of these rows here facing out into the same direction. We'll want to take our mechanical arm and right click all of these blaze burners so that it will set them to deposit. Then once we have all of those selected, we'll want to shift right click our depot to set it to take items from it, and then we can place it down. Above our depot is where we're going to place our spout, and this is where we're going to have our infinite lava source come from. This way, lava will come onto here and onto these buckets. The only other thing we need for this is water, and we can do this just by placing down an infinite water source, and then we'll put a mechanical pump above this, and then we'll just have that go straight into the boiler here. We'll need to attach some power to these two just to get it started up. And then once our infinite lava source fills up is when we can start pumping it into our boiler here. But until then, all we can really do is just wait here for this to fill up. I think we've got this infinite lava source working now, and it looks like our steam engine is already getting some power. And then up at the top, we just want to make sure that all of our steam engines are facing the right way. So we can just look at one of these and rotate them using scroll wheel, and then I've just attached a mechanical belt at the end of this to attach all these together. Right now we only have a level 3 boiler, and I think that's just because of the amount of water that we're pumping in. We just need to speed this up and it should be better off. But yeah, I think we're looking pretty good on the rotational power here. We've got almost 50,000 stress units. I think that's going to do it for today's episode though. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.